what? Two of the greatest like crowd control heroes out there, the Cho and the Rock. Pick up the Diggin and then you're fine. Does it look like an RRQ Hoshi hero though? That's the question. Because again, they want to be aggressive. Unless they utilize this Diggin in an aggressive manner.
I think they absolutely can. And now that they know that Rock is probably, he could go, he's most likely going to go into the EXP lane, I would assume at this point, but I'm going to hold my breath for a second because based on what we're seeing that's being banned here from RRQ, I wouldn't be too surprised if they do decide to ban out the Lilia and then really minimizes what Sanji can play. He might have to just default to the Kagura.
That's right. But then again, for RRQ Hoshi, what they will have problems about is that their marksman hero pool will be diminished now with a Fanny ban late into the game. It's pretty surprising. Are we seeing a Claude or maybe a Leslie ban from Echo? Oh, it's a Claude ban. So what's left for Skylar then?
Unless we see something new like we did in a couple previous days, right? Where we saw Melissa, Moskov. You have those options because a lot is banned out here. So really it's kind of up to what position you want to allow Skylar to be in, right? When you have this Digging, when you have this Eve, you have to play around that and allow your gold lane to shine, especially across from you as a carry who has been dominating in terms of marksman picks, gold lane picks, and you know how much she's going to be shredding those initiators.
Oh, here we go, the next lock-in coming in from RRQ. It's going to be Karina. Okay, I like it, I like it. At least Karina can get on top of the carry. Finally. Okay, they're shaking things up. I was expecting the Barats too. Hilda as well as the Valentina. I'm surprised that RRQ didn't pick it for themselves, the Valentina in particular, but nicely done. I think Echo, this is looking like a really solid draft.
Yeah, is this a Cho jungle or a
Cho
Grok
jungle? Most likely. Unless they decide to flex the
Cho, right? But I think it's a Cho jungle myself.
It's the proof that I'm still
okay.
alive.
Well, we haven't talked about Brody much. I would say that it's rather 50-50 in terms of Brody alone, right? You really need to be able to scale up. You really need to be able to get your marks off and then the torn apart memories. The damage can be great, but still, like what we saw, you could say the same thing about Beatrix last game. Damage can be phenomenal, but if you can't actually get in range, you can't get the targets you need to, that's where it struggles.
I guess for the side of RRQ Hoshi, they now have to play the RRQ Hoshi way where they are very aggressive. Don't let this composition coming out from Echo to build up when it comes to the momentum and the farm. Carry will be a problem in the latter portions of the game. They have to make sure that this Brody-Karina duo carry should output the damage in the early to the mid game.
Well, we're going to find out in just a couple seconds as we're loading up here. Again, Echo taking the first blood in the series. Best of 5, Land of Dawn beckons. And we're jumping into game number 2.
All right, here we go. Let's see how game 2 is going to present itself here, especially with the way the lanes could possibly end up turning around. I'm a little worried because, again, it really depends on where Yaoi kind of wants to go. He could technically help out a lane. He could technically instantly look for these invades. But I think overall, it's better to help out that laner because Brody is going to bully Benny QT for a majority of this game.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Wolf? I mean, especially with those matchups, even Carlo Tizzi on this Cho, are they going to get that much value out of it, or are they going to be relying more so on Yaoi to just cause havoc?
Yeah, I think that Carlo Tizzi is more like he's going to be the frontliner. This Cho will not be like a sniping Cho with those flickers because this is a retribution Cho. So you're kind of first in, and then Sanford and Yaoi will be the ones to kind of give up, find the better targets. For example, Yaoi can just skip the front lines, get to the back lines, find Clay, and pressure those backliners for RRQ Hoshi instead of like Cho looking for the better targets.
Oh, but up outside, R7 might be in a little bit of trouble. It gets full hit by the power of nature called TZ. He's going to hit 4 off of this. R7 might want to get out of there for now, but Albert on the opposite side of the map already just hitting his level 4, just power farming his way. Let's see how Echo is going to respond as Turtle's coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Albert farming quite quickly here, expected with Jungle Emblem.
Yep, and Cortese instantly making the play onto Clay so far. Forcing out the flicker, but instantly Albert able to respond. Shadow Dance looking so very good. First blood falls into the hands of RRQ.
Great idea coming out from Echo, but unfortunately, RRQ Hoshi are prepared for it. Clay even had the flicker back then, so that's why that play was questionable, kind of questionable for Echo. Surely you will have the damage, but knowing that the Eve does have the flicker, It's too much of a risk. What a stun.
Is he still alive here? Skylar might actually get the trade. Now he survives with just 1 HP. Nicely done. On the opposite side of the map is Echo. Start the turtle, R7, Black Dragon form. Sanford instantly getting the knockoff onto Albert, but it doesn't really matter as the real one manipulation has forced them out. Echo has got what they want. Petrified from R7 is going to turn it around, but no. Way of the Dragon kicking the Black Dragon underneath the turret, securing the kill and making sure Sanji's life is worthwhile.
Oh, Sanji with a stolen times journey. The entire turtle fight of RRQ Hoshi is based on the fact that they have to be the ones to stun up Echo. They have what? The dragon form, they have Eve's control, but that was completely nullified with a stolen Diggy ultimate. And RRQ even lost the Retribution battle as Kotizi and Sanford just made sure that they zone out Albert all the time. Turtle fight is what Echo really banks on in the knockout stages.
RRQ has to be able to win those turtle fights, to win those even Lord fights later on here. And as you even saw a glimpse of the items, you see that already Benny Cutie locking in that Corrosive Scythe, going to be trying to farm up. A lot of attention here, top side though.
Well, let's see how they're going to play it out. Kotizi might be able to make the play again, but Albert is ready for him this time with 4v4 up on this top side, and Turtle coming up in 47 seconds. Looks like nothing's going to happen for the time being. Wait, Yaoi? Oh, no, they back off here.
Be very tense now for RRQ. We did say that they need to control the tempo of this game. They have to be the ones to get out of the laning stage with a better economy, but it seems like Echo, with just one turtle fight, they now are controlling it. It's not over though. RRQ Hoshi, if they find an opening, come the second turtle of the game, maybe they can snowball out of that. But otherwise, Echo will just take over the game.
Speaking of snowball, RRQ ranked first in damage dealt per minute? I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
I wasn't either, but even when we got to look at that little hexagon graph thing, I mean, you could, in the stats, you could see that they love those team fights, and even the fact that the journey they've had up to this point, this matchup with Echo, they've had to go against some of those more aggressive teams on the way, right? And so they've kind of adopted this playstyle for RRQ, whether it's that scrappy, aggressive playstyle or even that utility kind of objective-based. Now that's the thing, this is the fight for them, and still a lot of this focus here on these neutral objectives early on. Turtle, quite low.
Yep, so low. Real world manipulation is already up, but the time journey is spent by both sides. Black Dragon form is in. R7's waiting for the opportunity to jump on in for the Petrify. Finds one, instantly comboing with Albert. Shadow Execution's looking so very nice right now, but Kotizi still has his Retribution, looking for an opportunity. Reverse time is going to send him back, but it doesn't matter. They find that turtle.
That's exactly what they have to do, right? RRQ, if they can grab a kill, great, but if you can at least get those objectives where you start getting that favor in your advantage, allow yourself to allow Skylar, hell, even Clay, to come online faster this game. That's best case scenario. Let's see how this all goes. Items being picked up here, Wolf.
We did say that RRQ Hoshi needed to control that second turtle. They have to take it. We put a lot of emphasis in that, and that's exactly what they did. That's why now they have equalized. They now have the advantage. And this is off of Vin's usage of the ultimate as well as Clay. The angle that he utilized, the real-world manipulation, put Sanford in a very bad spot because Sanford had to use the wild charge. Surely it was able to attack Clay, but of course Clay will not be stunned up, will not be able, his ultimate will not be cancelled because of that. And as a result, you have Echo not having a frontliner already, with him being taken out by RRQ Hoshi.
This is a difficult thing for Sanji to decide, right? When you're running this Valentina, you've got great three options across from you, right? Do you take the Times Journey, the real world manipulation, or maybe even that Black Dragon form? And that's tough, but now you can see RRQ, knowing this minor advantage they built themselves, they're gonna keep pressing the issue here. Now they have one turret down as well, they can work around with that space, but still, this also allows Skylar to continue to farm up with somewhat of a safety measure, and if Vin continues to protect Skylar, this is the best thing that can happen for him right now in this portion of the game.
I think for the most part of it, right, bottom side, R7's got to be careful here. If he jumps on forward, Benny QT is going to kill him. So now they're dividing and conquering. 3 on top side, 2 on bottom. Sanford finds an angle for a flicker wild charge, which almost resulted into a kill. R7 is still alive. Black Dragon wants to get on out of there as Tier 1 falls. Tier 2 is the next to drop.
Man. I was just about to say, there was a lot of focus on RRQ Hoshi up top lane. If R7 keeps himself alive and defend the turret up down bottom, that will be a favorable trade for RRQ Hoshi. And boy, oh boy, R7, he did not fail us. Even with the flicker usage coming out from Echo, he's able to get out of there.
Yeah, but with real-world manipulation already used in the mid lane, this turtle will go over to RRQ Hoshi, now developing a lead for themselves. Is this the momentum? Is this the turnaround? Clay ends up dying to Benny QT already. Sanford with Power Nature fights the wild charge. No, instantly uses his ult to get him out of there, but it's timed out, and now he's getting kicked back by the woods. By the way, the dragon, Yaoi is able to secure the kill, but RTZ is able to get the trade. Yaoi's the next, should be the next to fall. And R7 doesn't pick him up. Skylar, no! He hit the tower twice!
That is a disaster there for RRQ. I mean, they found a couple setups and everything else, but they couldn't capitalize to make it even further in their favor, Wolf.
Oh, very scrappy fight from both teams you saw. However, Benny QT not scrappy himself, finding Clay even after the flicker. Because of the fact that Clay kind of reacted a split second later than he should, he was taken out by the projectiles coming out from Benny QT. Eventually, Carl TZ wanted to go for Vin. Yeah, surely they did for some time journey as well as the flicker, but man, they exchanged for a kill. And Carl TZ dying twice already in this game. That's not good for Echo.
Oh, the damage coming in from Skylar as well.
Yeah, picking up right there, that moment before he popped that torn apart memory, he picked up the Malefic Roar. You can see it, right? Skylar's in a comfortable position now, has the items that he needs on this Brody, can continue to put pressure wherever he decides to be. You see Vin and Clay parking themselves a lot of times around him, because if anyone gets trapped in that death box, it's going to be tough for them to deal with. But still at this point, RQ now a little bit of a comfortable lead to work with. Can they transition to this into a First Lord pickup? Oh,
they should. It's imperative for the side of RRQ Hoshi to take care of that Lord again. Echo does have good scaling, but RRQ Hoshi, they do have a big advantage already. You can see and feel Skylar now with his power spike. At 9 minutes in, it's the mid game. We know that the weapon master Brody is gonna pack up a punch. It's something that RQ is utilizing right now.
Ooh, no, he gets that. No way he gets that. But now, with no Shattered Memories here, Altz may have a little bit of difficulty getting on in. Has been forced to flicker on out of here as Sanford is able to get some good damage for the time being. But that's going to be Lord. Time Journey already being used, but instantly dying over to Saji. And Saji ends up getting traded back. Skylar gets kicked, and now with him dead, this allows Benny to keep on going forward. He doesn't care anymore, but Albert is running all crazy. They fight it, a 3-for-2 trade in favor of RRQ.
How did Skylar survive that? What a play there. And also a misstep by Echo. They couldn't capitalize on that kill. Benny QT was out of that fight, and now it's RRQ driving down with his momentum.
Well, the way that he survived there was great, and he didn't panic. Also, I would like to credit, he dodged the Guardian's Barrier. This is high-end dry Grok with a lot of attack items. That's why even the Guardian's Barrier would have taken him off. Instead of fully backing down, he actually stopped for a bit so that he will not be hit by the Guardian's Barrier materializing in front of him. Skylar is cracked.
Oh, they're going so far right now with the momentum. Altz getting a good kick onto Diggy so far, but here comes the Black Dragon form to zone them up. Altz is stuck, he's trapped, he's dead, and now the rest of the team is going to be hitting onto the inhibitor. The Lord is already down with the real world manipulation, looking to turn it around. Time Journey to get his team out of there. RRQ have got what they want, and now they back off.
And now it's RRQ's time to play with this momentum in their favor, and they're doing exactly that. Wolf, what did this last couple minutes here transition? It's only 11 minutes into the game. How's it looking for RRQ?
Oh, definitely looking good for RRQ. This is their power spike, as we talked about. But then again, we also look at the other components of their composition. With the Divine Glaive available for the Eve, who opted to go for the penetration boots this time, Clay will be hurting a lot of Echo. Despite it, we're looking at the real-world manipulation, you don't really look at the damage that it outputs, but with all of the items that Clay was able to get, he is now going to be a threat. Look at that though, Queen Swings coming up from R7.
And at the same time, as we get ready for this next pretty much push, or maybe it's the next Lord here. What does Echo have to do to get back into this game, Wolf? I mean, they're down to 5,000 gold. They've only got 2 turrets. RRQ owns their side of the map.
Well, they have to find a way to kick R7, or Skylar, I mean, into their favor. They have the damage on Benecutie already. They have the items that they needed. But the fact of the matter is they are not finding good jumps onto Skylar.
I don't think it's that easy as well. Like,
It's
a lot of
not.
it
It's
really
not.
just comes down to Carl Teasy and Sanford. They're the only people who can really do it. And even Sanji, whatever he takes, he's going to get punished. Like, the Black Dragon form seems like a good idea, but considering how far ahead RRQ is right now, it's, disgusting.
The biggest thing that was just picked up here by Benecutie is that Wind of Nature. You mentioned it earlier, Gideon. It's a strong item, right? And that can actually turn the tide of these team fights if they're able to allow Benecutie to stay alive. Conceal play coming out, but they're just kind of scouting around here. They know that they don't have much vision.
Wow.
You can hear the roar, by the way.
Vince Diggy does have like Divine Glaive. And with just 2 time bombs, he's able to put Kautizi down to 80% HP. That's a tank. This guy's the time bombs. They hurt.
They really hurt. It's
Look at
shocking.
that.
Wait, is this an engagement where you see? Oh, Sanford, he had an opportunity. Really good Guardian's Barrier, but no follow-up so far. Kaltizi trying to get into the Lord Pit right now as R7 begins it. And now RRQ, they secure the Lord, but now the fight has already begun. The Black Dragon form science, they steal the real world manipulation. They're done for Benecutie. Wind of Nature's ain't going to protect them long enough as the rest of RRQ chase them down. 5-1, 5-2, it's Albert. 4 for nothing in favor of RRQ. Sanji, just hide. Don't show yourself. He's out of here. Skylar almost dying, torn apart. Memories hits. And Albert, he wants it. Give it to him. Give it to him, Sanji. 1 HP. He's not done. He heals back up just in time.
Man, Albert wanted that kill, man. He was going in deep, but still, it's a push from RRQ.
And now the real one manipulation is out to clear the way. Sanford tries his best. No, he gets pulled back. And now the Lord is in. Maltese tries his best, but Skylar puts the final nail in the coffin of this game. GG, well played. Over for RRQ.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a series.
We got a series
on our hands. It's 1-1. This time around, it's RRQ with a dominant game here against Echo.
And 2 important components on the winning recipe of RRQ Hoshi. First, Skylar's Brody with the Weapon Master opting to go for maximum damage, winning or at least evening up in the laning stage and being activated in turtle number 2. The second important component, it's an egg.
It's an egg.
The digging was the problem this time. You see the time training usage in the turtle number 2 allowed for them to just hold their ground and win the turtle fight. Eventually, in the latter portions in the mid-game, Divine Glaive and Enchanted Talisman with an Impure Rage digging, the Times Bomb. Or we call it the bomb.